This is the video for December 18th, 2016. The title is, They Called Me the Preacher. Since early in my teens, many called me the preacher. As I said before, I preached my first official sermon in the largest Assembly of God church in New Jersey shortly after I turned 14. I was preaching on the street even before that, and I have spoken in various churches and groups throughout my life. I'm still preaching, but my message is not as uplifting as it has been most of my life. In fact, I have become a pessimist, even doubting whether God exists. Many times in recent months, I have prayed to die. It is very hard for me to keep going like this. As I keep saying, God, if such a being exists, owes us all an apology. There is no excuse for the mass deception and violence that we have experienced. If God fails to take responsibility, then God is not love, but the greatest criminal in the universe. It's past mid-afternoon when I'm beginning this video, and I have not even gotten dressed today, although I did put a shirt on to make the video. That's the first clothing I've put on all day, other than my underwear, of course. But anyway, that's probably too much information. I've been mostly laying in bed, pondering my life, pondering where we are, things that are going on in the world. I've watched some videos and stuff today and read some things, but mostly I've been away from the computer and quiet, just in a state of meditation and contemplation on what to do with the rest of my life. As I said, my life since childhood was dedicated to preaching what I believed was the good news. And the good news to me was that God was going to bring his kingdom to earth, not let us die and go somewhere else. That's a cop-out. That's a cop-out. All these that died in the faith, receiving not in the promises, that's a cop-out. It means to me that life doesn't matter, that human life is meaningless. It has no purpose. It has no promise of actually achieving anything. If you've got to die to get there, it's, as I said, it's a cop-out. It's the biggest lie we've ever been sold. And it irritates me and hurts my very soul, my very heart. It hurts everything that I've ever believed about myself, because I've propagated something that apparently isn't true. And I didn't mean to do that. I didn't mean to mislead anybody. I honestly thought that God was a loving being who could be trusted to keep his word. But I don't even know anymore what his word, if he speaks at all, even is. I don't know. I don't know. I've become an agnostic. I'm not an atheist, but I am very much agnostic. I don't know what reality is anymore. I don't want to live my whole life in vain and have to repeat it again and again and again and again because it was never fulfilled. And at 70 years old, my life has not been fulfilled. People tell me, look, Ron, look at what you've done. Look at what you've accomplished. Look how many people you've helped. Did I really help them? I might have given them, as I was given, short-term hope for a period of time. I might have helped give them a new sense of direction. I might have provided some level of meaning for them. Whether true or not, it was meaningful because they believed it was so. And many turned their lives around. I've read of experiences of those that had near-death experiences, and I had my own, by the way. But I can't say that I had the experience that some people who've talked about their near-death experiences have had. I can't say that I had the same level of awareness and of clarity in my near-death experience. But the room did fill up with light, even if it was the middle of the night. I did feel like I was communicating with a real being that I believed to be God. Folks, I'm sorry. I'm truly sorry that I don't recognize having enough power to make changes that are meaningful in the world. I'm not optimistic about Donald Trump. He's still working in a very corrupt system. And I'm not saying that he's not somewhat corrupt himself, but he's surrounding himself with people that are in the wrong occupations. And one thing, I mean, my God, it's not very promising. And I have people writing to me and telling me, it's up to us, it's up to us. Don't you realize that we've been brainwashed? Humanity has been led down a primrose path by believing and by receiving and believing lies that we've been told all of our lives, generation after generation after generation. An edifice has been built on the falsehoods that malevolent beings have created, not benevolent beings, malevolent beings. And this has been allowed to happen because we chose to know good and evil and to understand the difference. And some say, well, there is no such thing as evil. That's why God doesn't recognize it, because God only sees the good. Behold, all that God made, it was good. Yeah. But somehow God allowed demons to take over humanity, not for our benefit, but for our torture, for our, I don't even know what to call it, for the life that we've been given is not a life of hope. It is not a life of reality, because the reality is we have been greatly, greatly deceived. I remember writing a poem once, and I don't remember what was going on in my life at that time. I've thought about it, but it was called Deceived by God. Oh, can it be that the Holy One has lied to me? Sometimes that is how I feel when anyway, I don't remember how it all goes, but right now I'm in a position that if I could die before this year is over, it would be a good thing for me. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of wanting good and seeing the continuation of the breach of promise that I witness. And good people dying in the faith and receiving not the promises. Even my cousin, who is a minister and has been a minister his whole life, retired now, but even he has doubts. And I'm sure we're not alone. If I could do something to bring positive change, I would do it. If I could do something to allow humanity to experience what I believe to be the love of God, I would give it in a second, in a heartbeat. But I don't know how. And I'm sorry for that. But thank you for listening. Namaste.